As we all know, the horse racing industry starts at the very bottom, at the breeding side, and we're visiting Richard Lingwood at the Norton Grove Stud, and this is what you're going to see. Richard, it's a wonderful sight seeing the mares and foals out. How many mares are on the place at the moment?
Well, we've got 28 mares and foals, and 15, 16 barren maiden mares, but because we have a number walk in, we fluctuate all the time. So,
you know, there's all sorts of comings and goings, and there has been for several months now, I'd imagine.
We foaled the first ones in January. Don't start cover until February the 15th.
Yes.
But some days can be very hectic, yes. Yep.
And how long, roughly, do the mares stay on here with you, with their foals, before they head off to their home quarters?
It all depends on the owner concerned and how happy they are to spend money.
Yes.
Some try to cut it as fine as possible.
Yes.
And they walk them in. They come, as long as they're all swabbed up and right.
Yes.
Cover and off back home again.
Yes.
Others will come to foal. We'll foal them. We're not lovers of covering at full heat.
Right.
We tend to encourage owners to miss that and wait for a month for foaling when things are much more fertile. And if they're covered, then we like to scan them at 15, 16 days, first time, looking for twins. And if all's okay, then a second scan 10, 12 days later, where you can find a heartbeat.
Yeah.
After that, most people will probably take them home.
Right.
Some will wait for 42 days, but on the whole, most people after that heartbeat, they think they're well on the way.
and you've been here an awful lot of years. The stud developed in the early 70s, Richard. You've been here all this time. I dread to think, really, how many foals you foaled personally in that time. It must go into thousands.
At the busiest year we ever had, 4 or 5 years ago, we foaled 89 in one season.
Did you really?
That was a lot of night work, because most of them foaled at night, not many during the day. So me and the wife do the sitting up between us. She sits up till about midnight while I snooze, and she goes to bed and I take over.
And do you have sort of TV cameras sort of on boxes to keep an eye on mares without disturbing them?
We've got 5 cameras.
Yeah.
So you can sit and you can wait until the last minute, basically.
Yes.
And then you're not disturbed. If you go walking across the yard, the mare's just laid down, the chances are she'll hear you and get up and say, I'm waiting until you're gone.
Richard, we're going to see a foal now that did have problems early in life, indeed at the falling stage. Just take us through the story of what happened to this foal.
Well, the mare foaled a fortnight early.
Yes.
It was obvious things weren't right because there was a head but no feet.
Right.
Having felt inside, and so it was quick ring for Mark Collins, the vet. It took him more than half an hour to get it out, but we managed in the end.
Was her leg or both legs back?
Two legs back, yes.
Yes.
Yep. And we had to get ropes on the head and round the feet, and there were 3 or 4 of us pulling.
Right.
And quite often you wonder whether you're going to get a live foal at the end of the day.
Right.
But we did. It was terribly weak. Obviously, from the placenta, the mare hadn't been supplying enough blood through the placenta to keep the foal going.
Right.
And we were very worried about it for the first week or so, but it's had a lot of intensive vet work, and it's coming nicely. The only thing it's got to do now is just straighten on its joints at the back.
Yes.
Done on it.
And there's plenty of time for that, for it to stand back up on those now.
Yeah, we shall give it some another fortnight, probably more. If it doesn't improve some more, it's improving every day actually, but you could put extensions on just to help it straighten up.
Yes.
The way it's going, I would hope it's not going to need it.
And this is a Miss Your Bond out of Formidable Girl, and it sounds as though the foal herself is a formidable girl.
If she's very active, very active, and if you go in there with you and it's galloping around, it'll do its best to gallop back and by you and kick you.
Yeah. It must be satisfying though, Richard, to see her now, considering that she had such a bad start in life.
It's nice to think that's one we won with, yes.
Yes. Of course, it's not all about mares and foals here, because you've got stallions as well. You've got Reg Bond's 2 horses, Monsieur Bond and Miss You Bond, and Milkit Mick has joined you now as well.
Fresh for this season, yes. Paul Dixon, the owner, said he'd been travelling about all his life. He'd like to have him a steady home from now on. So he's here. We just want to find some more mares to him.
Yes.
He had a good winner last year with that Miracle in Medina.
Yes.
Won a listed in the Group 3. But it's hard work for a stallion at that level.
Yes. I suppose for any stallion, Richard, as well, they need a showcase horse, really. A big Saturday horse, really, or a horse who wins, as you say, group or listed races.
Yes, you need a Ladies to Forever or a Hoof It.
Yes.
In Mr. Bond's case, to keep coming on and winning those top-class races, yeah.
And the satisfaction for you, generally, with a stud like this, Richard, must be to see a foal that's been foaled here and you've raised it, go on and win a really nice race.
We try to follow them all, yes,
Yeah.
and when one does that, we're happy for our stallion, and we're happy for the people that sent the mares to us in the first place, and hope they'll come back again.
And I can't see any sign of you retiring for a while yet.
I keep threatening at this time of the year when we're up to our neck in it. But
Yeah. But it won't happen for a while.
we haven't thought about it. We haven't thought about it, no.
No. Well, it's loving what you're doing, and that's all a part of it, I think.
I think that's why me and the wife do it. What would we do if we weren't doing it?
Yes.
And we're still pretty fit and well, and it's a way of life. It's part of what we're doing, and I think were we to pack in, we would be dead within years, probably, within weeks.